Look, man.
Where? Oh, I see.
Wow.
Oh my.
Bowen, look over there.
Wow, is that
culture? Yes.
Oh my goodness.
Oh,
Wow.
Yeah. Las Culturistas.
Ding dong, Las Culturistas calling. And so what we were saying before we got on was that I went to the movie theaters.
You went to the movie theaters, but it depends on which one you went to, doesn't it? It depends on the brand.
I had a worse experience because I didn't go to an AMC and see Nicole first.
At what point will we... there's no way that I asked this question without sounding awful.
But you know that no matter how you sound, I will understand you.
I know you do.
I can't say that for them.
Please understand me while I ask this.
To have compassion.
Have compassion for me.
For whatever he sounds like in the next second or two, just have compassion.
And in the seconds beyond. I think, when will we stop? When will it not be a sort of security blanket kind of thing?
Are you coming for me?
I'm not coming for you. I'm coming for, at some point, we're going to have to free Nicole from this.
I understand. And here's what I'm actually going to come out and say.
Okay.
And this is actually really crazy to even go here because our guest today is actually
the Nicole authority.
One of the Nicole girls.
Yes. And Naomi.
Darling May. One of the things that's happening in culture is the Nicole Kidman AMC thing. We're getting diminishing returns. The cheers are starting to get less. And I've been to the cinema and it felt like last year, everyone was screaming and gagging for Nicole. And now it's kind of I think what we need is a 2.0 version of it.
But first of all, there's no way the 2.0 lives up to the 1.0.
I would agree.
And this is why you go out while you're on top.
Oh my God.
And I think we've lost that thread. And I please have compassion for me as I say this. And it makes you get all self-conscious to go to a Regal.
Here's the thing. You just notice when it's not there. And to the point where I'm is it now part of the movie-going experience? Which is a testament to her star quality.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? But here's what I'll say I really don't want to see. I don't want to see any Nicole Kidman AMC gay Halloween costumes come October. I want to see two things. Barbie and Ariana Madix at the Vanderpump reunion.
And the revenge dress.
In the revenge dress. I want to see all my gay guys trying to get into that garment. Which, by the way, is not a practical garment for a reunion because you have to sit.
But she looked amazing sitting.
She looked incredible.
She really pulled it off, didn't she?
She really did.
And I want to see my Jenna Lyons is out there.
Oh, that would be really good, a Jenna Lyons costume.
With what she calls a landing strip.
Yeah.
Not exactly what she thinks it means.
No, not.
But,
I think that we both could be Jenna Lyons.
I mean, yes, both of us. You and I, we would both represent different parts of Jenna Lyons.
What part would you
I
represent?
would be Jenna Lyons pre-veneers. And you would be Jenna Lyons.
The binary.
The binary. Pre-veneers, and you would be Jenna Lyons post-nose job, which I only say that because it's all a genetic condition.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually think this is an amazing case study in get the work done. It's all gender affirming care. Do you know what I mean?
Well, speaking on this, did you know that right now there was a news article
Uh-oh.
that says that Hollywood actresses are en masse getting work done right now during the strike. So they're going to their doctors, and there is a huge movement amongst Hollywood A-listers and B-listers.
Oh, don't forget the B.
It's actually Real Culture number 49. Don't forget the B. Listers. They're all moving to get their work done now,
right?
Because the strike is going to go on for a while. So we're going to be seeing all the girls with new faces, heads, knees, shoulders, toes. Etc. Full head transplants.
I can't wait. Mm-hmm. I say get them. Get them.
Should we get some?
I might get a little third eye. I want a little eye transplant.
You want to get a third eye?
I want a third eye.
Speaking of the third eye.
I think this is a perfect transition.
There is some cards on the table. And cards on the table, there's some cards on the table.
Thank you.
Can I just see what the deck is?
Here we go.
We've brought our sis in. Ask your guides, Oracle cards.
We need to get into these.
We're going to get into these. I don't trust anyone to tell me my fortunata like my girl. And this actually is a moment in Las Culturistas history because I think probably the number one most referenced person on the podcast is probably Sudi.
Mm-hmm.
Followed, but that's only because we've known her much longer.
Right.
We've known Sudi for decades.
But there was a before and an after.
It's a movement, not a moment.
the movement, not a moment. Of one day, my sister shows up and goes, I was talking to House, and I was like, who? And then I didn't even have to ask it out loud because I was like, there's that guy.
You felt threatened.
I did not feel threatened. I was actually so overjoyed. Dude, why are you shaking your leg? I was not. No, literally, it's just like my sister moves out to LA. I miss her terribly. And then I see this person come into her life and I say, it's all going to be okay.
And I said I had to bring her into your life.
And then it was kind of a beautiful moment.
I'll never forget.
I love House so much. I love House as in the unit House and the individuals within that comprise House.
Yeah. So this is the big episode for the readers because they get to meet House. And what I am pointing to on the table, cards on the table, are these Astral Guides Oracle cards. And he said he was going to bring these to the reading, to the reading. He said he was going to bring these to the podcast recording. And I sort of just in the back of my mind was like, I don't think he even really does that. And then you came in and asked, do you do this? And he said no. No, it was actually the lovely woman we just met.
It was Enid who asked, do you do this? And he said, no, but I can do it.
Yeah.
Which is a perfect way to answer.
That's actually something that everyone out there needs to know about astrology. Even if you can't do it, you can do it. Because like, watch this. So I've pulled out this card. This is Intuition and Inner Child. So what I'm seeing for you...
Not a tarot card, by the way.
What I'm seeing for you is that you need to honor yourself. Wow. And if you don't start honoring yourself now, you never will, Bowen. And if you're not laughing and smiling and playing with the inner child every day, you're doing it wrong.
I am literally on a reparenting journey. And how could you have drawn that card were it not for the cosmos?
I have the gift.
And so does our guest. And so does Sonia Choquette. Sonia Choquette. What a name.
Choquette.
Choquette.
Oh my God, me in the bedroom. They call me a choquette. I'll be...
Oh, so you're the choker.
I actually hate choking sexually.
Yeah.
I don't like it. I don't like when people people also get crazy about it.
It's hard to regulate.
Well, yeah, because you can't breathe.
Listen, look, if you like choking, I bet you're a damn Republican because you hate the regulation. Okay?
Oh my God, I'm so shook.
I know. Let's see. We need to cut straight to this and bring our guest in, wouldn't you say?
Ladies and gentlemen and non-binary friends, please welcome into your ears House, aka Patrick Rogers. Wow, it's your moment, House. And now they get to hear your iconic, like Midwestern voice finally say the word house.
House.
So Midwestern, Indiana.
Yeah, Indiana. Born and raised, baby.
Born and raised, baby.
Corn-fed, Midwest best.
See, and I bet that people, when they thought that when they knew that you were coming on the podcast when they went on today, they thought that you would have a voice sort of like us, like sort of a faggy voice.
Yes.
And then you sort of come in and you had sort of this like authoritative.
Yes.
What would you say? How would you call yourself?
Sort of a choker voice.
Oh,
I think.
No.
You don't choke.
If they like it.
Yeah.
I mean, bottom's choice
Bottom's choice.
is what I say.
Title of app.
Title of app.
Title
See,
of
and
app
here I
already.
was thinking the title of app would be House, but already it's Bottom's choice.
Bottom's choice.
Now, can we go back to something?
Yes. Yeah.
Could I? Nicole Kidman.
Yeah,
Yeah,
sure.
yeah.
Because
Yeah.
I feel
We
like
need your input.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think one thing we have to say is anything that is that iconic and prolific needs to end at some point because it's like in Christopher Nolan's Batman, you become the enemy of the story.
That's what they say.
That's
in the
what they
movie.
say in the movie. You become the enemy of the story
Yeah.
if you're not. We can't keep doing the same ad. And
No.
a sequel, honey.
No.
Come on, there's never going to be anything better than the original.
But didn't they say that she was filming a sequel?
They said that they were
did.
writing it. They've been writing it for 2 years. Apparently, it's not been
And
approved.
I don't blame them.
Yeah, of course.
For not approving it and for taking this long to write.
But I will say, you go, you sit in your AMC, you've got
Yeah.
your slushie,
Oh, no.
you got your popcorn.
Scared.
Nicole comes on, and whether the movie is bad, whether
Yeah.
the movie is good, you're in your entertainment church.
Yeah, you are.
Period.
She is the pastor saying, "Come on in, baby girl,
Yeah.
and just relax and enjoy yourself."
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah.
nice to be led
Yeah.
into that. I think that's a really nice way to start a film.
So then
something
where do you
soothing about
stand on this then? Should it end or should it be a pastor?
It can never be again.
Yeah.
It can never be again with her. But
Right.
my God, they should try something else. Maybe Darling Nay could do something.
Darling Nay could do something. Well, then that really does come off as like Nicole didn't want to do it.
Yeah,
It should be like Anya Taylor-Joy.
I thought you were about to say Enya.
Enya
welcomes you into the.
Enya should be back on
Enya
screens.
should be back on
Did
screens.
Enya ever act?
Who
can say?
Music
That's Rule
videos.
Culture. That's Rule Culture number 80. Did Enya ever act?
Who can say? Enya at the Oscars, may it be Lord of the Rings, Fellowship of the Ring? I was saying this woman is a performer.
Insane. It's a disservice that she's in Ireland in her castle with her cats and she will not leave. She will not leave. She will not see us anymore. She doesn't care.
She doesn't care.
Do you think she has a recording studio in the castle?
She does.
Oh, okay.
You know this?
Yes. There's an famous article from 5 years ago where they're like, Enya's this, misanthrope, recluse. They go, they talk to her, people around her. There's all this stuff about her castle, her studio in there and stuff. It's fascinating.
It's Irish Bjork.
It's very Irish Bjork.
Yeah.
Very Kate Bush,
It's Kate.
Our weird girls who we love.
I love it. You know when they were saying that Billie Eilish is the new Kate Bush and we all laughed?
And
now I get it.
And I cried.
And I cried. But I get what they're saying. Like young prodigy,
Yes.
kind of like doing something different.
Yes.
Anyway, I just wanted to put that out there.
No, I think it's an interesting comparison. I think it's more interesting that than when people say like Caroline Polachek.
Oh, Caroline
something,
Polachek.
which I don't think is necessarily
quite.
as similar.
We love her.
We love her. My God.
My God.
We stand.
We
but
stand.
I don't think that that's really two of the same things.
I just watched that. They just released again. You know how Billie Eilish does the same interview
Yes.
Every year.
every
yeah.
year. So this is the 6th one, and I think it is a thing of like Nicole. It might be needing to end because it's getting to the point now where she is like watching herself from 6 years past, and she's kind of just like, yeah, man. Like I feel like I feel like the loop has closed on it.
Yes.
Whereas it's like,
done.
I don't know how much longer she'll do it, but Billie Eilish, as of late, seems like a very adult person. Whereas like, I think what's been fun about those Billie Eilish interviews is it's like, oh,
watch
look
the
at her
rise.
figuring it out. Like
Yeah.
as she goes, like look how she changes. And now she's just sitting there and she's just like, wow, I can't believe I've done this every year. I really was young. And there's nothing else being offered in the vein of why we're interviewing her. It's just like, it's been a thing.
I like the concept. It doesn't have to be like Richard Linklater. Like
I do like her more and more.
oh, totally.
Yeah.
That little Barbie song
The Barbie song is
stuck in
good.
my head.
Oh my! Well, in the film too,
Yeah.
perfect moment in there.
I saw it again last night and I almost cried.
Wow.
I've had a more emotional reaction the second time seeing it than I did the first. The first I was kind of just like overwhelmed and like I can't believe this movie, like wow. And then the second time I think I was ready to receive the messages a little bit more and I was really really moved by it. And that part is like when they show all the images and cuts of different like women and girls throughout their life, I was like, this is pretty special.
I was moved. I was teary-eyed. I laughed. I got teary-eyed. I had the
Laughed,
full, emotional story. Even on Lexapro.
Especially.
You can do it. You can do it.
Yeah.
You can do it. Should we confess something, you and I?
What?
Our experience with another movie.
Oh.
Here's
what I'm gonna say.
I think everyone.
And you know this is true.
Special Ops Lioness. Is this what we're talking about?
No,
We didn't make it through Oppenheimer, you guys.
We
Wow.
saw it in a theater.
Movie theater.
In a movie
An
theater.
AMC.
Neither AMC nor Regal.
Tough.
Village East by Angelica.
Mm-hmm.
Huge theater. I've many happy memories in that theater. I've seen The Room there. I've thrown plastic spoons at the screen there. I saw
Classic New York theater.
Classic New York theater. Saw
Yes.
Bridesmaids there for the first time. I was like, I will always remember this moment, I will always remember this moment of Oppenheimer because one, the concessions line was too long.
Down the block.
Down the block. In a manner of speaking.
Mm-hmm.
And then the movie itself, our main thing was, is Flo Pugh gonna have tits out every scene she's in? She deserves better than this. Is Emily Blunt gonna be an alcoholic nag in every scene she's in? She deserves better than this. And then
that's like the theme of Christopher Nolan's filmography
Right.
is that the women in them deserved much better than that. That my thing with it was, with my one precious life, no more 3-hour movies. And
they're gonna keep coming.
well, yeah, I mean they show no signs of stopping. But my thing is like by the time Barbie is over, the bomb hasn't even gone off in Oppenheimer.
Right. And the bomb was going off in little ways up until the hour and a half mark for us anyway, where Matt was truly jumping out of his seat and we were like, this is not
Did you see this?
I haven't.
Yeah.
right. And if you enjoy it, please. If anyone enjoys this movie, I celebrate. But for us in that moment on a Monday night after the weekend we had,
what did we do that weekend?
I don't know. I think we just like hung out.
A big weekend.
It was a big weekend of hanging out.
But you were so relaxed from it, and then to go into Oppenheimer and get jilted around.
Oh, this is what I wanted to say about the Angelica of it all. You feel it, and this is not a drag on them. It's a kind of a drag on the movie because I realize I've had this problem with Christopher Nolan's movies a lot. I can't hear them. Like when I saw Interstellar in what I thought was a great movie theater years ago, like I've given that movie the benefit of the doubt, and I tend to give his movies the benefit of the doubt. I actually am a huge fan of his. I couldn't hear this movie, and I could not hear Interstellar to the point where I was just like, what is it? Like, is it just that everything is the score was it just covered the whole movie in a way that his scores do. And I was just like, girl, I can't with my one precious life.
I haven't seen the film yet. And I'm a big Christopher Nolan fan, so I'm excited to
going
see
back.
it. Yes, going way back. I just mentioned Batman.
Sure did.
Who else has heard of that film?
No
one.
But I will say I saw Tenet when it was out around the pandemic, and that film was so confusing to me. I felt like my grandmother trying to watch Matrix. I kept turning to my friend being like, what is going on
you're a smart
here?
guy.
Who said what to who?
And I went to college.
Yeah, you're a smart guy.
I'm educated. I know some stuff.
100%.
I couldn't figure out who was what. And poor Elizabeth Debicki, legs in the air. She looked 8 feet taller than everybody. He didn't know how to shoot her.
Tall girl.
And as 6'3" man, I respect these tall girls.
Yeah, tall girl.
I respect these tall girls, and I don't like when men don't know how to film them.
Yeah.
They got her in an SUV, legs out in the air. She's looking like Clifford the Big Red Dog.
Yeah.
It's a sick way to treat a woman.
Yeah, I
think.
would agree.
It's
I would
sick.
agree. And the thing is, in this film, Emily, how tall do you think Emily Blunt is?
5'9".
Okay.
She looked 5'11" in the
looked-
trailer.
She
She looked really
5'11".
tall.
I don't know what that is. He's filming them from up, trying
Yeah.
to get up their skirt. Why are they looking so tall?
Here's the thing. Why would literally to go back to the Florence Pugh of it all? She really was nude the entire movie. And then you're gonna not be able to handle it, and there's no
that's
reason
my
for
girl.
it. I know we love Flo.
The reason is that like there's sex, no problem. We love
Heard of
that.
it.
Heard of it. But then that character, that person in real life, like a sad little ending there.
Then where's Killian's cock? Okay, I'm sorry, but like, why is the woman nude the whole time?
Yeah. You get Flo tits, you get Killian cock. That's the equation.
That's the equation
for a happy film.
Because on paper, every project looks like it's gonna slay.
Yes.
Right.
You can see why she would want to do something like this. Christopher Nolan is one of our current auteurs of cinema.
Yeah.
I think any actor, actress would kill to have a role. Of course, I think she saw the role. At least it wasn't The Housewife. I'm sure she thought there was something interesting there. She's never done sex like that. I mean, I'm thinking Lady Macbeth, was there that much? I don't think so.
right.
There was
There might have
famously
been.
when Harry Styles ate her out in Don't Worry, Darling. And then she was pissed about it. Remember, she was like, stop reducing this movie to just the sex. Because then Olivia Wilde was out there being like, in my movie, the women only the women come.
Right.
Remember that
Right.
narrative? Just Olivia Wilde, in my movie, only the women come. And then you find out at the end, like, all the women are being brutalized.
Right. Well, yeah. They come to grips.
They come to grips with the fact that men are their oppressor.
Oh God. But Flo, you know what? Flo, I think. Well, I was gonna say Emily probably looked at the script, said, "I'm the nagging wife, but at least I'm on a horse." And I'm like, they can shoot me tall.
Fun to be on a horse, I'll say that.
Yeah.
Actually, not fun. Not
You've
fun to
ridden
be
a
on
horse?
I've ridden a horse for camera. Guess what?
Oh.
This crew, and I love this crew, but this crew decided to have a drone. And of course, the horse don't know what the fuck that is.
No.
And then I almost died. Almost. I didn't tell you this.
No.
Almost died in
This
Iceland.
wasn't the narrative that you came back with from
Well,
Iceland.
there were the other narrative from Iceland was that I had a piece of used toilet paper, my own used toilet paper stuck to my shoe, and then everybody on set saw and
walking around set with a shitty
with-
piece
with
of
a-
toilet
with a
paper
bra- with-
coming
with-
from his pants.
with a big brown on my pants.
Big old brown.
The big old brown. But the other narrative,
Iconic.
The other narrative was riding on horses, and wouldn't you know, the drone, even hundreds of yards away, these horses can clock.
They were spooked.
Yep.
Yes, they were spooked, and then I almost
Not a horse can clock.
Not a horse.
Not true with these
not
girls.
true with these girls.
A horse could clock.
A
horse could clock.
Famously.
So you almost got bucked.
I almost got bucked, and there was part of me though that I was like, this is a good way to go.
Chic way to die.
Chic way to
Bowen
die.
Yang was on set in Iceland. He was thrown from a horse and passed.
Now, I remember the narrative. You loved Iceland. Though.
Oh,
Well, let's
we
say
need to
that.
talk about. Let's
you
say
guys
that.
have both had incredible
Because
Iceland
I just got back from Iceland a few weeks ago.
Tell us about your Iceland experience.
Iceland is one of the most magical places I've ever been.
Agree.
The people are so funny.
Yep.
A deeply funny people.
I've never seen you so happy than when you came back.
It was
makes
one of the
total
best
sense to me.
vacations I've ever taken in my life. First of all, with Josh and Aaron,
Yeah,
who
the number one.
the
The
number
readers
ones.
The
know.
girls. Oh, please.
And
Fucking and
they're
fucking.
just the easiest people to travel with. I mean,
Absolutely.
we've done Fire Island with them. They're very easy people to be around.
Yes.
And they know people from their improv days.
Big improv scene in Iceland.
Big, huge improv scene in
Yes.
Iceland.
You would never know
randomly.
this.
You'd never, who would guess?
I wouldn't guess that.
And so their friends from improv have a summer house, take us to the summer house in the south of Iceland. Waterfalls everywhere. We're going
Fosses.
to Fosses.
Fosses.
Golgafoss.
Golgafoss.
Which is their backyard foss.
Oh.
Golgafoss. We're seeing puffins and manatees.
They
which
eat the puffin.
They eat the puffin there. I did not.
Not
I did not
great.
partake.
Not great.
in
What's a puffin? Is a
Little
Gorgeous
penguins.
little bird.
they're ate for sport?
They're like
Not-
they're the
not
chickens
often.
of Iceland.
No, not often.
Not often.
Not
no.
often. Let's.
I'm
we
sorry.
don't
I'm
wanna-
sorry. I'm sorry. We'll cut that out.
No, I don't want to cut that out.
But
If
it's actually
real-
not true. It's not true.
It is eaten, but
Some
it's
of them
like,
eat.
It's like an old Icelandic tradition,
Yes.
but they don't really keep it up with
They
it
eat
anymore.
puffins, don't they?
They eat puffins, don't they?
Don't they?
But no, it was just like the people were amazing. Reykjavik's so darn cute
So
and
cute.
charming. They're obsessed with water. House knows this.
Mm-hmm.
House and I used to go every Sunday to We Spa in LA when we both lived there. It's just one of the
We
great
love We Spa.
institutions in Los
We gotta go
Angeles.
to Sojo Spa.
I was saying we
gotta
need
go.
to do that soon. It looks amazing.
It's amazing. I've done it.
What's Sojo Spa?
It's in
It's
Jersey.
in Jersey. It was what I was going to do before Beyonce.
It's like
Yeah.
5 floors. It's incredible.
Yes.
You also need to join us at the what's the
we?
one we went to? Governor's Island.
The Governor's Island Spa.
It's a little bit of a trek, but so is Jersey. I'll go.
It's a trek, but they take the ferry right there. They like have their own ferry.
Oh, that's nice.
So
It's really good.
Spa ferry.
But anyway, they're obsessed with spa culture.
Where did
and
you go? Did you go to Blue?
Went to Blue Lagoon.
Went to Blue Lagoon. Did you go to Sky Lagoon?
I think so. I
Sky
can't
is
remember
great.
the other name. It's outside Reykjavik, but I think it's Sky. But you're on the water and you're in like these rocks.
You went to
and
Sky.
you're in the water.
You went to Sky.
in a hot lagoon. It's insane.
now, can I ask, when they say hot lagoon, just how hot?
Oh, perfect
Perfect temperature.
92 or
92.
some such.
And you walk up and with all of these, they've walk up bars. So, and you have your like wrist thing. So you're clock, let me get an
Clock.
Aperol spritz. Clock, let me get Clock, let me get some wine. And so I'm tipsy as hell looking
You would love it.
I would.
Look-
This is so the vibe.
looking at the stunning ocean. The clouds are
God.
passing by. It's in summer. It's a nice 60 degrees. Like it was just
Sun don't set till 11:30 p.m.
yeah, that was part of it.
the-
And then I said, let's go for New Year's Eve. And then they said, well, that's when there's only 3.5 hours of sunlight or whatever the
Yeah.
fuck.
and
tough.
and no one's going out. That's
Yeah.
what I heard. Yeah.
Highest density of
Puffin.
puffin.
Sorry.
In the world, highest density of people who write novels per population.
Isn't that beautiful? This is
Novelists per capita?
Novels
Yes,
per capita.
yes. Fascinating fact about Iceland.
This is the thing about Iceland and the Icelandic people. There is no original sin. The Vikings just got
Yep.
there. No one was
Was
there.
there.
Let's build a town. They
Yep.
didn't have to kill anybody.
Nope.
Didn't have to like make anybody feel crazy or
They
oppressed.
don't have the guilt. They don't have the shame. And I'll tell you what's one cool other thing is that there's only one real gay bar because
Yes.
gay queer people are so integrated into the culture that
There's no need for their own safe little space.
They don't really need it. They're out at all the straight bars with everybody else,
Mm-hmm.
chilling, hanging out. I was like, this is so cool.
Yeah.
Like, it was very, very special.
Ugh. And the actors there.
Oh,
Can I
honey.
just say, the people who played my family, I probably talked about this already on Nora from Queens. It was like the Meryl Streep of Iceland.
Really?
And it was like the leading character actor of Iceland, and they've been known each other for 30 years. They're like, hey, how are you? And then they're like, we love doing comedy. Because they're like, all we do here are like Nordic noirs, and it's so depressing. Everyone's getting raped and killed
Oh my God.
on our shows. It's always girl with a dragon tattoo.
Yeah.
And then they're like, this is fun. They're like, we want more comedies. And we were
And so you go there, it's like this incredible community spirit.
Mm-hmm.
And then the reason why you were there was to see Bjork.
Bjork. Do a
Yes.
DJ
So
set.
talk about this.
So basically, what happened was Bjork was supposed to do her concert there. She's doing like a flute orchestral moment.
Yes.
Well,
I saw this at Coachella.
she couldn't get the flutes to Iceland because of some
It was a supply chain
it was a
thing,
supply
wasn't
chain
it?
thing, yeah. And so she was like, shoot, well, anyone who is outside of Iceland and bought flights, I'm going to do a DJ set for
Bjork
you.
said, shoot.
She said, darn it.
She said, darn it.
Oh my
darn
gosh. And so she said, I'm going to do a fabulous little DJ set for you.
And so this, the way it was explained to me was there was supposed to be a big concert in Iceland, and then she said, "I'm canceling it. If you are from Iceland, sorry, girl, I'll be back later."
Yes.
But international ticket holders got a special DJ set.
And how could they tell? Passport?
Based on like where
Based on
you
purchase,
where
IP
your
address.
purchase.
IP.
Well, I'm sure your credit card. You understand?
You understand.
So anyway, we go there. She holds it at her friend's art gallery. It's 100 people. That's it. And we're scheduled. It's supposed to be like 2.5 hours. And we're like, is she going to do a full 2.5 hours DJ set? So we get there. She's in her garb. She dressed up. The girl is fully in a green wig, and like there's some fungi
Mushroom
sprouting
style.
out of her, and like she's wearing like a gown and like a cape and the full thing. And she's just up top, like 5 feet above us, just like a little bit above us, and like saying hi. And then she does a 2.5 hour set. She starts with 40 minutes of classical remixes that she does herself into tropical beats, into hardcore rap, into like indie remix. It is the most insane DJ set I've ever heard in my life. She's just like fully like jumping with the audience, like getting her life, sweating her tits off. It was unreal. One of like the most sacred experiences I've had. She was
so
amazing.
glad you had that. This is what this woman. Did you ever listen to the podcasts?
Yes.
She does like for each album.
Yes.
This woman knows music in a way that you would never believe. She knows everything about everything.
It's crazy.
It's
I mean,
wild.
even Sugar Cubes. I mean, she was like 11 writing insane music. I mean, she is a prodigy in like the truest sense, and continues to evolve, which is exciting to like have an artist you've loved since you were a kid and they keep doing new things, you know?
Doesn't always happen.
You know? Like it's really interesting when you have someone who has that stamina.
Yes.
Because they don't all.
Because some of them are hole up in their Irish castles with their cats and don't come out.
And won't say hi to me.
Is that kind of flop though? I mean, are we? Let's take Enya to task because come on.
We need it. Give it to us.
What is the other Enya song that's really good? It's Only Time.
Sail Away.
Sail Away.
Yeah.
That is a fucking gorgeous song.
What was the CD that was like Pure Moods that would come on?
Celtic Moods?
Celtic.
And that song was always blasting on the TV. They were selling that CD and that
Celtic Moods.
Celtic Moods.
Well, speaking of people who like continue to evolve and stuff, we did just see Beyonce this week. I mean,
the East Rutherford show. And I love whenever anyone plays MetLife and they go, New Jersey.
Contractually, I think they can't say New York.
Yeah.
You know what I would do if I was one of the girls? And I'm going to act it out. Here, if I was Taylor.
Okay.
And this is, you have to understand, when Taylor Swift is on stage at MetLife, she's Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
Yes, the whole time.
Unless it's the Evermore or Folklore section.
She's only Taylor Swift when it's Evermore Folklore and when she does the surprise songs. Go.
And also, you could argue that Taylor Swift makes an appearance sometimes in the Fearless section.
Sure.
My impression of what I would do as Taylor Swift if I'm on stage at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. Be cheering for me.
Woo!
Woo!
Yes. Thank you, everyone. It's so fun to be in New Jersey tonight.
Woo!
Oh. Hi, New York. And then I would go.
But you know what she did in 1989? I think I have a pretty solid memory of this, and it's been, documented, recorded. I think she went, it's nice to be in Jersey. Some people came in from New York. And even Connecticut.
And then people booed. I would boo. Shut up! You suck!
Play the hits!
Fuck you, Taylor! This sucks! Play Blank Space!
I think she had to.
White girl!
I think she felt like she had the responsibility to do the entire tri-state. You know what I mean?
Yeah, she was like,
some fishermen from Maine. Yes.
Rhode Island Queens, stand up. All of a sudden, she becomes like Rhode Island Queens.
Rhode Island Queens.
What do you think?
What?
So this is a Taylor Swift community right here. What do you think? And I'm really already willing to jump ahead. What do you think is the next era?
Of Taylor
Well,
Swift.
first of all, it's August 1st, so let's say salt air and the
Salt air,
rust on your door.
Let's say the
Never.
August prayer.
And that's
The
August prayer, so I'm glad we got to that. Because
Let's break down all the eras.
Okay,
There was
next
Taylor
era.
Swift. Taylor Swift was very much Taylor Swift, like I'm country girl. Then
Yes.
Fearless was country superstar.
Country superstar. Let me dip into Faith Hill aesthetic.
Yes.
Let me dip into that.
Golden girl from the country.
Yeah.
Then was Speak Now was Disney Princess.
Disney princess.
yes,
Red was pop crossover country superstar.
Yes.
I'm a woman.
I'm a woman now. And
I'm a woman.
And I've actually been through things. Jake. So now we're ready to talk
Where's
about
the
Jake.
scarf,
Yeah, where's the
Jake?
scarf? And that's like the color, the imagery. That was the first like sort of really Taylor Swift really started to come out.
She
Yeah.
crept out.
She jumped
crept
out.
out.
Yeah.
And then she jumped back in.
And just back in.
But 1989 was Imperial Phase pop superstar New York
Yes.
bitch.
Yes.
First Imperial face, some might argue.
Yeah, girlfriends first. Every night is girls' night.
Yes.
Pink.
Barbie.
Yeah, very that.
Very,
Very
very
Barbie
that.
doll.
Barbie.
Supermodel.
I mean,
Yeah.
girls' night only, no boys allowed.
Yeah, no boys
He's
allowed.
just Ken.
Like if Margot Robbie was around at the time, like she would have been in the squad, like etc.
And she wasn't around at the time.
Can you believe we got every single stop she
She
had?
was
She
brand
was
new.
introducing someone to
Yeah.
come out on stage.
Oh, you know
Julia
who we got?
Roberts.
You know who we got?
Who?
Uzo Aduba.
Uzo Aduba.
Wow.
From In Treatment.
From
From In Treatment.
It was so funny because it was literally like I think there was like 6 models came out, and then she literally goes, "And now, you know her from Orange is the New Black," and everyone was like, and there she was like, "Uzo Aduba," and Uzo Aduba comes out and stomps the runway. Everyone's screaming.
She had a good stomp.
I bet
were-
she served.
She did.
She was ready.
First of all, she doesn't not serve.
She doesn't not serve. I did do something last year at the Emmys night before party where I was very excited to see her. The only person I was excited to see. And I did go up to her and say, I'm a huge fan. She goes, thanks.
You're calling her out.
I'm calling her out a little bit. I was a little disappointed. And now I know that sometimes I should try to avoid that energy. You know what I mean?
Yes.
But I'm not.
What if
I'm
we
not
find
thinking
out?
about
What if this now makes the circulation and it gets back to Uzo Aduba, and it's like, oh no, I know who he was. I don't like him.
I don't like him. I don't like that.
I would
I don't
respect
like
that.
that guy.
I don't like that guy. Oh, that's the guy from SNL. I don't like him. Uzo Aduba comes out. I hated Fire Island. She thought its politics were wrong. She disagrees.
You know, this is like when I went to the SAG Awards and I ran into Robert
Yes.
De Niro and I said, thank God we finally met.
Yeah, that's a good line to Robert De Niro, and he laughed.
God, we finally
He
met.
did laugh.
That's really funny.
I was drunk as a skunk.
Yeah, you were with Louis Vuitton, and that pissed him off.
Oh yeah, Lewis was fussy. And I was getting my life.
Wasn't there someone else you went up to?
God, am I going to say?
Zoe Kravitz.
I went up
Zoe
to Zoe Kravitz and I held her hand and I said, baby, you can say faggot.
She said, no, he goes, no, he's not giving him no credit. He said, baby, in that dress, you can say faggot.
I'm sure she could.
And I think she considered it.
She said, thank you.
Baby, in that dress, you can say faggot. To Zoe Kravitz.
Yeah. I was
glad.
having fun.
I'm sure.
Well, yeah. But, did we meet anyone? Every time I've been with you to the Emmys, that was sort of like pre.
Well, Michelle Williams and Busy Phillips was that
Oh,
first
that
year.
was an iconic first meeting.
Yes.
Yeah.
Busy Phillips was coming back from the bathroom right behind us with Michelle Williams, and she looked at us and she goes, "You guys are doing it right with those drinks. You were double fisting cocktails."
Of course.
And then, did she reveal that she knew who you were?
She did not reveal, but then when she came on the podcast, she said that
She
she
said-
did know at the time, which I don't think I believe you.
No, I think she did. I actually think that you are well known.
It is known who Bowen is.
Yes,
Not-
it is known.
It is known.
It is known. But Uzo, 1989.
So what I was saying was that then there was 1989, which was Imperial Phase pop star, like, nah. Then, of course, there was the great fall in the media, Reputation, and then that was the great album, Reputation.
The greatest,
Great.
one of the greatest albums of all time,
time.
Reputation.
You're right.
It is so important that we speak that because
Yes.
some of these girls, I think they don't know there was a narrative and
Yeah.
it got put on that album
Oh.
and it was false. There were many lies spread.
I'll tell you one of the lies that Taylor told herself was that album was a failure because in the Miss Americana documentary, she on camera doesn't get the Grammy nominations, and she's like, okay, well, I just have to make a better album. And I almost had to stand up and scream at the TV because I was like, no, this was the album.
This was the album.
You need to say that direct to camera.
Reputation was the album, and we've actually said it many times because it actually won Album of the Year again this year.
It did. It won Album of the Year at the Culture Awards.
No, it didn't. It won Best Era. It won the Eras Award for Best Era.
It won the Eras Award for Best Era.
Another great award.
Yeah.
Equally esteemed.
Equally esteemed.
So then after that was, of course, Lover, which was Queer Rights, which was, of course, Love is Love is Love is Love. It was The Color Rainbow. It was giving Purple Clouds, Pink Clouds, the
Lisa Frank.
And then we, of course, had her doing interviews again because Reputation was, there will be no explanation. There is only reputation. I am not speaking to you because you did me wrong. But if you listen to the music, I'm actually happy. Happier than ever.
That's not Taylor.
No.
That's Billy, but keep going.
Then was followed by Folklore, which was, of course, Pandemic, like Country Girl. You're a folklore.
I'm a folklore gal. I was just talking to someone about this too over the weekend. The album that turned them onto Taylor. The album that turned Patti LuPone onto Taylor.
Was Folklore?
Was Folklore. Remember she tweeted? She was like,
yeah.
I just went for a drive with my daughter. We put on the new Taylor Swift album. She's a poet. She's a poet.
Hey, better late than never, Patty.
Yeah.
Patty.
And you know who Patty likes? Sondheim.
Sondheim.
Yeah.
Then if there
she
was...
likes writers.
Yeah, she
rarely listens to people who
do
cannot
not
write. Know that.
Then after Folklore was, of course, the superior album of the pandemic, which was Evermore. I get in a lot of trouble about saying this, but House and I are together on this.
It is such a powerful statement. Winter Girls. There's nothing quite like it. No one's ever written anything quite like it.
No one's ever written anything quite like that.
It really takes you back home to your hometown in a way that it's a place. It really puts you there in a way that I think is so specific. And I am still trying to figure the album out. And that's how you know it's good.
First of all,
I'm still solving it.
During the Evermore era of the Eras tour, you hear "'Tis the Damn Season." You're changed.
You're horny. You're horny.
And that's about the hometown,
baby. Amen.
Then
Midnight's Darkness. The theme is, of course, being up late.
Yes.
The theme is anxiety. The theme is agita. And yet the theme is best believe I'm still bejeweled.
When I walk in the room,
I can make the whole place shimmer. What is the next era?
The next, well, you know, there are reports that Max Martin and Shellback are back in the studio with her.
Yes.
What does that mean,
It
though?
means
imperial pop.
It means like undeniable pop hooks
Bangers
are coming back. Not that Midnight's didn't have them, but I think Midnight's was less sort of...
It's a little lo-fi.
It's a little lo-fi. It's a little bit like vibes.
Yeah,
exactly.
It's a vibey album.
It was actually, I think, exactly what I predicted it would be, which is like early 2000s, like...
Yeah, like Death Cab
vibes.
Yeah,
like,
yes.
I thought that...
Of the indie pop era.
Yes, indie
Right.
pop era, like, what's that called? Such Great Heights?
Yeah.
That sort of situation.
Postal Service.
So, like, yeah, Postal Service. Like, that type of thing is the closest we've gotten from her
Jack
to that.
Antonoff is definitely very immersed in that world and very interested in that world. And I think as a consumer of Taylor, I'm very interested to see post Jack. A little more Coke, a little less K. You understand?
A little more Coke, a little less K.
Yeah, I'm ready to get her back on her feet.
Okay.
Yeah.
can
Okay.
do this.
Without
Yeah.
Jack.
I don't think we need Jack for a minute. I like what he's done. Big fan of that guy.
Big fan of that
Love
guy.
Jack.
But
Love Jack.
I just think that artists need to work with new producers and expand themselves. And I think sometimes when you get into these relationships and these patterns, you can be creating similar things for a number of...
So would
Do
you
you?
say... Yeah, go.
Well, I was really quickly. You think so?
Mm-hmm.
How do you feel about what Jack did to Lorde with the yellow one? The yellow album.
The yellow album. With Sunset Cruise.
With Sunset
What's it
Cruise.
called?
What's it called?
It's called Solar Power.
Solar Power.
With Solar Power.
Which is famously an album that Jack Antonoff did to Lorde.
Yeah, he did to
I
Lorde.
think so.
I think that Lorde has been a darling of critics for a very long time. And I think sometimes having a miss makes you even greater.
Mm-hmm.
And I think sometimes in your early career, having a miss like that can make you hungrier
Yeah.
and ready for in a new way for an era that's more exciting.
Right.
So I'm hoping that the lesson is Jack flopped, now I fly.
I hope so.
I hope so.
God, I hope so.
I fucking love Lord.
I love Lord.
But I will say
Lord.
this, there was not a bone in my body that could get into that album.
Melodrama, that is
Oh,
one of my
period.
favorite
One of the perfect
concerts.
albums of our generation.
It's
Yeah.
a perfect album.
Yeah.
And to go from that to Yellow Album, it's shocking. It's really shocking
I
to the
think
system.
maybe there was just like, there was this thing, and I think there's this thing with Lorde where it's like, she took a much bigger swing than I think she thought she did.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because there wasn't anything to latch onto with that album. Like, even the first single, like, people seemed excited about it for like
I was excited for exactly 24
40
hours.
I was gonna say 48.
Yeah.
But like, and then it like kind of went away, and I was just like, yeah, there needs to be something else. Also, maybe it didn't feel as fresh and new as she thought that was gonna sound. Because like Harry Styles was kind of doing a similar type thing, at
Right.
least aesthetically anyway. That
Yeah,
like
yeah,
felt like
yeah.
really pop and a lot to latch onto. Does that make sense? Or is
yeah.
that bad?
No, that makes sense.
Ultimately, which is a house saying, ultimately,
Ultimately.
I think that the production wouldn't have stopped it if the writing were better. I do think that that album was not written as well as Melodrama.
Uh-huh.
And I think that the production exacerbated that.
Yes.
And I do think that having an album flop like that could very well be great for her. I think there's many lessons in failure, and as many lessons in failure, more so probably than in success. And so
Absolutely.
hopefully, she takes that and makes a really strong, beautifully written album, because Melodrama is so well written.
I with all knowledge of the fact that Melodrama is her greatest work to date, I still prefer Pure Heroine because of where it takes me back to.
Which is like right after college for
Right
us.
after college, I remember I was like, this is so lame, but I was like very much like in like a place, and like I was like experimenting with weed a lot, like smoking a lot of weed for the first time, and like listening to like 400 Lux and being a little stoned and like walking around New York. I thought I was like killing it. And like I just love Pure Heroine so much. And then Melodrama I can fully respect is like probably one of the greater albums of the past like 20 years.
Who's to say that Solar Power, though, in like 2 albums from now is going to be like her Reputation? Do you know what I mean? Because there really was a stench on Reputation for a
Yes.
long time.
I don't think there was.
From the
You- from who?
from the media, I think there definitely was.
Well, they were
I
pissed at her because she wasn't talking to them.
I think that the audience loved Reputation.
Yeah.
I just remember the day that Reputation leaked. I remember this day. One person in particular, I won't say his name, it was like, ugh, do you want me to send you Taylor Swift's disgusting bad album? And I had already listened to it at that point, and I want to be like, I'm enjoying
Scola
it. It was not Cola Scola.
It was them.
them.
Here's what I'll say. I will cup to this. When Look What You Made Me Do first came
Yeah.
out, I was like, no.
Yeah.
I will go on record as saying,
Yeah.
which by the way, it's now, first of all, when she does it in concert,
It's so fun.
you're living and screaming, and now I love it and I get it. When it first came out, I think I didn't like the whole angle of like, I'm antagonizing the media back after like all this stuff. And if you really think about it, like that was such a difference from what she had done that
Totally.
I was just like, I did not get it, did not like it, did not like the video. Whereas now I want to go back and I want to like lightly just slap myself in the face a little bit and say, shame on you.
But also with Taylor, there's always typically, besides Anti-Hero, there's backlash from every lead single. I mean, that's the one part of being a Taylor fan is you're always a little off-put by the lead single.
She's made the wrong choice, I think, a couple times.
For many times, in spite being, this, master Riddler of sorts, the lead single she gets wrong a lot. It's an Achilles heel of hers.
Yeah.
Oh. Interesting.
You know who doesn't ever get the lead single wrong? Beyonce.
Yeah.
Beyonce's lead single is never wrong.
Break My Soul, Formation.
Break My Soul was and you hear it in the concert when you're at Reputation.
you're like,
Break My Soul goes off so hard. And talk about a little
Renaissance.
bit of Renaissance is what I mean.
Sorry.
What did I
You
say?
said Reputation. But sorry, I'm being stupid.
No, but that was wrong.
Well, No, but I don't. I can kill that instinct. You know what I mean?
But what if you hadn't said something? Then I would have been out here saying we were at the Reputation World Tour, and when
Break my
Beyonce
soul.
said "Break My Soul,"
Don't
people
fight
would have
in
been
front of me. My God.
We're not fighting. We're coming back together. But I'll tell you what, when we would have fought is if he had let me be out here looking like a fucking dumbass.
Like I would have.
Yeah, like you would have. Out here saying we went to the Beyonce show, Reputation.
Reputation.
I'll tell you what, though, I would like to see Beyonce's cover of Reputation.
Please.
She would rip it up. Maybe that's
Yeah.
Renaissance Part 2.
Any cover. I wish she
If
would.
Renaissance Part 2 is just Reputation.
Act 2 is Reputation.
Renaissance Act 2 is just Beyonce recording Reputation. This is for the best. She would slay all
She
the
would
songs.
slay all the songs.
Do you guys have any theories on when
Act
Renaissance Act 2 will be? Or what it will be?
Every one of my theories
Has been wrong.
and exhausted. Like the fact that there's not been any videos. Like at this point, I think it's iconic. Never give it to
iconic.
us.
Yeah.
Don't ever give it to us. Also, you know what I've been
I
doing?
love the withholding.
I love the withholding.
Yeah.
You know what I've rediscovered? Just to sidestep for a second, and I do want to talk about this, but I have been all over Tina Knowles Lawson's Instagram. That woman makes me laugh so
She's
much.
funny.
When
She's
she
having
does her
fun.
corny joke, she goes, "Hi everybody, it's time for a corny joke," and she'll just tell the worst joke you've ever heard, and she'll end everyone with being like, "You know that's funny." Like, and also she acts sometimes. Like, there's one. Wait, I have to play it. There's
She's an
one,
actor. She's been in movies.
There's one. She has been in movies. She was in that movie with
She is, I will say, like one of the most charming social media presences. I like social media with older people. Like there's less
It
of
should
the-
be for parents.
It's
She's
like,
such
it's
a
a
mom.
parent
I
thing.
love
Like,
it.
it's more enjoyable. I don't like when people are too curated on social media. Like it's fun to just have Beyonce's mom telling corny jokes
Yeah,
and
exactly.
shopping at Costco. You know,
This was my favorite video I watched yesterday. I actually showed it to my mom. I said, "Mom, you need to be more like her."
Was this on the sidewalk? She's eating.
It was on the sidewalk, and this is what she says. She's sitting with
Solange.
and is that Angie Beans?
it's
I'm not
Angie
sure.
Beans.
Oh, okay.
So it's Tina Knowles giving direct to camera. This is what happens.
Hi, we're at a little sidewalk cafe in Paris. Not really, just New York City. But, and it's not Sex in the City, it's like lunch in the city.
Good.
And look who's here.
And then she points the camera to Angie and Solange, and they wave.
Just eating lunch on the sidewalk.
So we are about to get our grub on. What's your name?
So we're about to get our grub
grub
So
on.
we're about to get our grub on.
I'm saying that before lunch.
It's not Sex in the City. It's more like lunch
Lunch
in the city. I said absolutely.
So
Also,
true.
So true.
perfect, the simplest joke structure, I would say, which is we're outside on a little cafe in Paris. Not really. We're in New York City. Just perfect little.
That's the bait and switch.
That's the bait and switch.
Genius.
Genius.
Tina Knowles, she really has it.
She,
really
I will
has
say,
it.
in that family, you don't get a ton of comedy.
No, you really
No.
don't. Not since Goldmember.
Since Goldmember, and it's nice to have one of them be a comedy girl. You
100%.
know,
Oh my
It's
God.
not- and you realize, like, oh, so she's the comedy girl.
Yeah.
And, you know, because you got the serious daughter, the indie daughter, and,
Yeah.
you know,
Right.
and then you got the mom who's the comedy queen.
Yeah, she's more
Yes.
wacky. Like I do more jokes.
I will say, I wanted to say about the concert, what I appreciated was when America Has a Problem, when she's in her B uniform.
having
She's
fun.
doing
She's being
physical
goofy.
comedy.
It's campy
Yep.
and really silly. And it's the most campy I've seen her in years.
Yep.
It's
Yeah.
really fun. Like, I just love seeing her with that little wiggle in her bee costume. It's so silly. and
There was
fun.
comedy in the show when
Yeah.
she goes to sleep.
Yes, cozy.
That's
Cozy.
comedy.
Yeah, that's comedy.
And you know what's? It's not comedy, but you can tell she's like, because Formation, I would say, was like her, like I do stadiums now, and it was
Yeah.
severe.
Yeah,
and
it was very like we're here on a mission.
Yes.
Galvanized.
And that album is incredibly like personally like heavy, politically heavy, all of that. Renaissance is the first time we've seen her in years be like the key changes during Love on Top. Like the look she's giving, she's like, oh, she's just having fun.
She was, and I think she even said she's like it's about enjoying life.
Yes.
She said it during the concert.
Yeah.
She gave a Wendy Williams. Ooh.
Ooh.
Ooh. Ooh.
I don't think she expected as many key changes as she literally cut us off.
Yeah.
She cut us off.
We were doing
was
the
like-
Love on Top key change, and she said, "Okay, give yourselves a round of applause." And it was a little bit like "good job," but it was a little bit like, "Okay, stop."
She told
Enough,
London.
enough.
She told London to shut up too. People were going crazy in London, and then I remember her being like, "All right,
Okay,
give yourself.
okay.
All right, that's enough."
It's embarrassing that we're the audience that couldn't go on mute, though.
I was on mute.
The closest we were
but-
on mute. We were on mute the whole time. The closest the audience that's done the best so far is Nashville, and so I think whatever the stop she has left. Please, everybody,
Go
do your
on
best.
mute.
Go on mute.
So tell people what this is, though. If they
It's
don't know.
during Energy when she goes, big wave in the room. Everybody, the crowd gonna move. Look around, everybody on mute.
and then you're all supposed to stop
For
what
4
you're doing
counts.
for 4 counts. And the worst is when you look around and everyone gets it, and then you have 2 people that are like, "Woo!" and I'm just like, "No, what don't you understand about mute?"
What? Yeah. What don't you understand?
Speak to a mute person. You know what they're not doing? Talking, screaming, singing. They're mute.
They're mute.
Also, it's a command from Beyonce. I would advise that you listen, and
to the song here in my heart.
That's what I was thinking.
That's what I was thinking.
What if she had said, "I want to do a special song tonight"? And
Oh
sang,
my
"Listen."
God.
did listen.
I would have been out.
I would have been
I would
out.
have fallen out. Are you kidding me? One of my favorite vocals of hers. I mean, it's such a good song,
Yeah.
too.
Beautiful song.
I am alone at a crossroads.
Speaking of this,
He just jumped out of his skin. He didn't expect that.
Agreed. We're so
Or
we
sorry.
need to
agreed.
get Dream Girls back on Broadway. It's been too
You're
long.
right.
Hello.
And,
I've been
and
saying it for a
London,
million years.
Weston got it. And they added "Listen" to it. Doesn't make
Yes,
sense
they did.
narratively.
They
but
did
I
it as a
want
duet.
They did it as a duet.
I don't
But
care. I love it.
America, Broadway needs to get Dream Girls back on stage.
Yes.
America has
Period.
a problem. No Dream
No
Girls
Dream
on
Girls
Broadway.
on
And that's real
Broadway.
culture number 99.
America has a problem. No Dream Girls on Broadway.
Amber Riley was ready to come over here and win the Tony in a heartbeat.
It would have been 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
You know,
that easy.
It's actually important that we say this out loud on this actual particular podcast, because when we said out loud that we needed a Sweeney Todd big budget revival, it then happened.
We got it.
So this is a podcast where things get spoken into existence.
Yes.
So that's just
the
what I want
Broadway
to say about
League
that.
is number 1 listener. They're Katie.
They're
They're a Katie.
The
Everyone
Broadway
on
League
Broadway
Katie.
is, a lot of them are readers, publicists.
A lot of them are finalists, I would say.
finalists, I would say.
A lot of finalists on Broadway.
But I want to say, in terms of the Beyonce of it all, what is the Act 2? When is it coming? Because if you look at the design of the Act 1 Renaissance, it says Act 1 Renaissance. Like Renaissance is the name of Act 1. So Act 2, I think, is going to be a completely different thing, completely different vibe.
Okay.
I think Renaissance was the house album. I think Act 2 is, I still think she is going to do some sort of country thing.
She definitely will. But
I think it will be whatever it will be heavily instrumental. Like I do think it's going to be like rock, country. Like it's going to be using like real instruments, like live band type vibe. Is what I would imagine where she would pivot from this.
Maybe acoustic.
I could see. But do you remember when she was in Vegas and she had the girls band? And it was all girls, and she had that live rock band. I think something like that kind of.
this is the first tour where she's had the boys back.
Yeah.
You know? Because for a while there it was
Yes.
all women on stage.
Yes. Boys are back in town.
Boys are back in town.
Big time.
Yeah. And Beyonce would often say, "Ladies."
Right.
It's actually real culture number 8. Beyonce would often say, "Ladies." We have to ask you the question.
Patrick Rogers, House. What is the culture that made you say culture is for me?
Okay. So I thought about this.
That's good. Jesus.
For once.
So when I was growing up, my next door neighbors were these lesbians called Debbie and Carol. And I was obsessed with them. And I was best friends with their daughter, Lauren. Lauren, Lorne.
That's spooking me.
Last name. Just take a guess the last name.
Michaels?
Michelle.
No. This is just the craziest last name. Batman.
No.
Batman. Lorne Batman.
Batman.
Was it also
was
Lauren,
it-
if you're listening to this, I love you, girl.
Was it Batman?
Batman.
But did you pronounce it
Batman? Yeah.
Batman.
Yes.
So not
Lauren
Batman.
Well, you know.
So if you
Lauren
were,
Batman.
So this girl was how old?
Oh,
Your
we
age.
were whatever 6 or 7.
So this girl was how old? It's obviously a different age every year. So you were 6 or 7. So this was in 1995.
Something, yeah.
So it's
And
very much
So
established.
Lorne Michaels was very established, and so was Batman. So essentially, when you name your daughter Lauren Batman, you know exactly what you're doing, or you should.
yes.
Okay, sorry, Debbie and Carol, you kind of Well, they kind of did something iconic. there.
This is in Indiana too,
Lorne.
though. This is cornfields.
Yeah,
So
right.
Sure.
okay, so she was my best friend. We were really young, and we were obsessed with the Spice Girls. And I wouldn't listen to it at my house. I would only listen to it at Lauren's house. And Debbie and Carol knew I was obsessed with the Spice
And
Girls.
they knew what was
and
up.
they knew I was obsessed with Posh Spice. And they took me to see the Spice World movie with Lauren. And then they used to take me on vacation with them. Like, they took me to Key West. They knew I was gay, and they always like did things to like let me kind of, they surprised me and took Lauren and I to see Spice Girls on tour.
Oh my God.
Deer Creek, Indiana, and they dressed me up like Posh. And I got to go to Spice Girls live, and I was dressed like Posh, and I was just like getting my life. It was the first time I was like out in the house, like kind of dressed girly, and like me and Lauren were just like roaming the concert, like on top of the world. And it was really kind of like, I was like, oh, like, yes, like this is like,
This feels right.
this is life. For
So
sure.
not even just the Spice Girls, not even just the Spice Girls on tour, but like inhabiting Posh.
Inhabiting Posh, I got to free myself of some of the already cultural notions of like being a boy and like liking boy things at a very young age, because Debbie and Carol knew and let me kind of, be a little gay boy at their
Posh,
house.
as it were.
This is really important because it's right before Britney, but we're the generation that kind of like missed the Madonna boat in terms of like our childhood. So like
Yes.
Spice Girls giving you like girl power in your face and having that also mean like you can dress like us is like a huge deal.
Yeah, there were literally
for little boys.
there's like something. This is bizarre what I'm gonna say, but like something about the '90s was like very like flavorful. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like when I think of the '90s, I think flavors. Like, is that stupid?
Bold.
No, because literally, like I was watching like an Instagram story of someone like in their car blasting like old school Mariah, and I was like, "There's something like I'm immediately there," and it's like it's even more evocative than the '80s to us, obviously, because we weren't alive at the time. But, like '90s, it was like they figured it out. They like dialed it to the exact right numbers.
Well, it was maximalism in a way that our pop stars don't do as much. We got Gaga, in her streak, but I felt like the Spice Girls are dressed as their names.
Yeah, they're very saturated. I guess that's what I mean.
They're like
Yes,
cartoon
yes.
characters.
Yes.
They're,
Yes.
I'm scary. I'm dressed scary. I'm posh. I'm dressed. They're giving you cartoon characters and archetypes that you could affirm yourself at. And also they're giving you sex, and they're giving you like fun and playfulness, and like, as a gay boy growing up, it was like, oh, they, really got to be themselves fully and like do these tours together and be friends. And it was very,
They were also doing like claiming of sexuality and using the word feminism and talking about girl power, and also putting sisterhood first and like making that message in their music way before people were talking about that in like a intellectual sense. Like, of course,
their
obviously they
catchphrase
were
was girl power.
but
I
literally
mean,
like there were 5-year-olds saying girl power, and I remember that was the first time I had ever even heard the word feminism, is when like in Spice World, like when they're dressed up as each other and one of them is dressed up as Jerry, and they're like feminism, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, yeah, feminism. Like me, a 7-year-old, like, I'm a feminist.
no, I know. And also like, truth be told, I still think the music's great. I still think they're one of the most, they're still, I think, one of the best girl groups we've ever had. Like, they are icon status. That music, if you listen to the records, like, I'm sorry, I remember being at the concert, Deer Creek, Indiana, me dressed as Posh, and they were doing Viva Forever. And I sobbed my little gay eyes out. I was like absolutely just like, oh my God.
What is
so
the best
true.
Spice Girls song?
Oh, that's really hard.
Two Becomes One.
That's a really good one.
To Become One is iconic.
Who do you think you are?
I I mean, I think the answer is wannabe, but I would say spice up your life. You can't
It's so
ever get
good.
away from it.
It's
When
so-
they come out in the end of the movie and they're coming out of the like fog,
Yes.
and they're like la 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 la. No, it's like dum 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 dum. That goes off.
It still gets me hype. Like I can
yeah.
still listen to it. If that's blasting at the afters, I'm gonna like be like, oh yes, absolutely yes. Also, that movie's fun.
Oh,
Like,
the movie is
the
so
movie
funny.
Is so great.
And by the way, we always say Posh turns out a comedic tour de force.
she's a genius. I mean, her 73 Questions with Vogue is one of the funniest,
It's one of the
things,
funniest things
I've
ever.
ever seen in my life.
This is the funniest word. This is the funniest single word anyone has ever said.
What's the cause you care about?
AIDS. AIDS. AIDS.
when the guy's like, do you think I should give her my grandma's old wedding ring or this new one? And she goes, ugh, don't give her that ropey old thing.
That ropey old thing. And then when her assistant comes in and she goes, I need to get you another dress.
Yes. Where would you like to go on vacation? Kenya.
Kenya!
She's a freak.
Every
I love
moment.
I'm
her.
still waiting on my Outstanding Achievement Award. There is so much about it that is so good.
So many moments.
It's endlessly rewatchable. And she also, when she can't do a handshake, you think maybe this woman has never shaken a hand before because
No.
she goes up and it's like off and then it's off again.
Well,
You're like,
she's convinced that she only because she's convinced she only has one angle, which is
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
that.
Also, there's a moment where she like hugs someone, like says hello to someone. She's like, you can tell she's so not used to greeting people.
Yeah.
She's like, how are you? Great to see you.
AIDS. No, she says
AIDS.
my award for outstanding achievement, or she says my outstanding achievement.
Outstanding Achievement Award. Because remember the Las Culturistas Cultural Awards, we have
Victoria
a
Beckham
Victoria
Award.
Beckham Outstanding Achievement
Award.
Award.
and for her role in the Spice World movie, right?
Right.
That's what it's
That
for.
is what we're referencing. I mean, there is a part of the movie where this honestly might be part of the culture that made me say culture was for me in terms of sense of humor. There's the scene where they're all doing the obstacle course and
Yes.
Posh, it's revealed that Posh is just walking along on the side in her heels.
Yes.
I screamed. I said that, and that is the gayest shit I've ever seen. Like for me, like to be screaming at her walking around the side. Like, look, she's like doesn't want to do the physical obstacle course. Like she's too cute for it. Like I loved it so much. I loved this dress is dry clean only, Melanie. Shut up, Jerry. Remember what is it? What was it? It goes I
haven't seen this since the
I
90s.
spy with my little eyes something blue, and they go hospital, and Victoria goes, "Shut up, Jerry."
I will say, like, she gets the comedy bits.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that stuff. Like, she is, like, very dry sense of humor, very British, and very funny. Like,
Yeah.
she can deliver a line,
No,
you
she
know?
can.
She's great in it.
Holler is underrated.
Holler.
Holler by the Spice
I
Girls?
wanna see
Oh,
you
oh,
holler.
oh, oh.
Yeah, that's incredible.
I just took a hard left into Holler, but we have to acknowledge that Forever, is that what that album is called?
Yes. Second
the
the
last,
last one, the
Last one.
third, yeah.
is, I mean, it is just tragic when you listen to that though. Like that you're like, it's missing Jerry. Even though it's like,
Yeah.
did we ever like miss it that much?
That's the thing is it's like in all these groups, when one of them leaves, it is over. Like Fifth Harmony was ended when Camila left. Like One Direction was ended when Zayn left.
Yeah.
Because it's so crazy that Harry was still in, that Harry wasn't the first to leave the group. And I think Zayn has come out since and been like, yeah, literally the only reason I left was because I wanted to be the first to leave.
Yeah.
What is that like what do you get out of that?
It stands you apart. It says, I'm the solo artist.
But and then he did not really he like
yes,
had,
he did.
but it's like then he disappeared for like 5 years, didn't he?
I think that's for like other reasons.
Right.
Because he like pushed Yolanda Hadid down a step. You laughed.
I did not. Okay, we're
There was like a drama where like he like wait there was like
Get me out
a
of
so he famously was with Gigi Hadid, and then there was like a drama where like there was like a domestic dispute with Yolanda Hadid of the Real Housewives of Beverly
And her
Hills.
fridge?
in her fridge.
Not in the big fridge.
I'll never
He
forget.
pushed her out of the fridge. And that was the step.
I'll never forget. We were in Palm Springs together, which, by the way, we've talked about that faded Palm Springs trip.
Iconic.
Oh,
when
you
we
guys-
got
you
kicked
guys
out of
got
the
kicked
house,
out?
but
Oh,
that
that's-
was when I got house into Beverly Hills because you fell in love with Kathy Hilton sight unseen.
I did.
You got it. You got it immediately.
I did not realize that there were like funny people on the show.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
You know, I just thought they were all bitchy or something. Like
Right.
I really didn't watch it. So I didn't know. And that was just my context was like, oh, people like to watch them fighting. I watched the show. these girls are making me
Laugh,
howl.
yeah.
Yeah.
These are funny
They're funny.
girls.
He loves the old New York. New York is his girls.
I know.
They're just so fun. I mean, Sonia and Ramona and Luann
I know.
and Beth and Carol. I mean, they're so good.
He's watching the old one right
Well,
now.
I did a
He's talking
speed
about
watch of
this.
6 just to like get to the part because I think
Is it Dorinda's in there?
Dorinda's not in there yet.
Okay.
Dorinda
no,
comes season 7.
Okay.
7
6 is
is
Carol.
6
Cindy
Heather.
Barshop?
6 is literally no. Basically, I wanted to watch the. You're not. This is gonna come out of nowhere. Okay. I wanted to watch the first episode of Aviva, and then I wanted to watch a bunch of little episodes in between, and I wanted to get to the last episode of Aviva.
The leg.
Because the leg is truly one of the most incredible moments of
The
television.
only thing that's fake and artificial about me
is this. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of being called fake. She just goes crazy, and then she goes, "Here, Heather, take it. I'll crawl home." Throws her leg over. I'm like, this is wild.
she took off her leg and threw it.
and threw
It's
it.
history.
I
It's
love when
history.
you watch the reunion of that because I recently also did watch that episode and the reunion. She goes, Andy was like, "How did you get it off so fast? Because you must have taken it off. You must have been preparing to do that."
Yeah.
She goes, "I was definitely preparing to take it off, and there's a little button, and only I know where it is." So she was saying, like, only I know where the button is on my leg to take my leg off so I can pick it up and throw it or slam it on the table, as it were.
It is. I mean, it's so clearly produced, and she did come in like ready to do
And
that.
she was cooked right after that. They were like, "We can't have this."
Can't have this. But like, it was everyone in that restaurant, in that party was like laughing,
Yeah.
gasping, screaming. Like fucking Kristen. Ugh.
Okay,
like,
wait, no, I'm not on Kristen.
Kristen?
And I'm excited she's come back. The first season of Kristen was good. And
she's
she
coming.
sat next
She's coming back.
to Legacy.
To Legacy,
Roni
yeah.
Oh,
Legacy.
that's right. She is coming out to the girls' trip. Yeah,
But
yeah,
you're
yeah.
going to
Girls
give
trip.
Bowen a heart attack.
Kristen Taker, and I'm just like, we don't. It's
She was good
her
her first season.
her tagline the first season was what?
I might not be smart,
I might
but
not be
I'm
the
pretty.
Yeah, but the way she says it, her line, which maybe tells you that like she hated saying it. Like,
I
but
think
I'm
she thought it
pretty.
was funnier. I think okay, so this is what happens when girls do comedy
Try to
but
do comedy.
don't.
Yes.
It's like she thought that she was doing a play on
I'm not the sharpest tool
I'm
in the
not
shed.
the
Yeah.
sharpest tool in the shed. Pretty girls like doesn't mean we're not smart. She thought she was getting ahead of it.
Right.
And it just like there was not enough of a structure
No.
to like get that across. So it just sounded like
She's
she
not Tina
actually was
Knowles.
stupid. Yeah,
Right.
she's not Tina Knowles. She's not a comedian.
She's not a
comedian.
comedian. We
But
know this. We know she's not Tina
Bowen
Knowles.
was saying before we got here that
understand.
he was watching old Roni, and now we know what season, and was comparing it to New Roni. Are you caught up on New
caught
Roni?
up on New
I'm
Roni.
caught up on New Roni. I really
Who are you responding to?
Well, I thought the Jenna, when her comment about her glasses fogging up from it being cold was really funny.
Yeah,
she is
funny.
She's funny.
She's funny and she's a little awkward, and there's some things that aren't housewife like about her,
Yeah,
which
which
I
I
think
like.
is interesting.
Yeah.
You know, so I'm responding to her. She's of course the star of the show
Yeah,
now
100%.
at this point. I think that Brynn is of course going to be great. You know,
Yeah.
she's kind of hasn't been like much this past episode,
She's
but
absent the last.
yeah, but
uh-huh.
enjoy her. I like when she asked why Jenna got a free pass, and Aaron was like, "I guess I like her more." Or whatever.
Yeah, I like Erin.
Yeah, Aaron's
have
a
to
good.
say.
I think she's going to be a good, not villain, but you know, she's going to be confrontational.
She is the one that arrives on screen. Outside of Jenna, Erin is the one that arrives on screen and
Ready.
pops the most.
Yeah.
Like I think that she's very dropped in, and like she to me gives New York in a way where it doesn't seem like she gives a fuck.
It does show up, and I think this season is going to be interesting. I think by the end we'll see real personalities out of them all, but right now I'm getting 2 to 3 personalities, real authentic people who are also TV characters, and the rest are still figuring things out.
Yeah, I think so.
And I think things take time. I don't really judge a season based on the first 2, 3
No, of course
episodes.
not.
You know,
Who
it's
does?
very early.
Yeah.
I think we need 5 or 6 to kind of sort out how things are going to play out.
Yeah.
But right now, I would say people who I can see actually being players in the show would be Jenna, Brynn, Aaron,
Yeah.
The Whites.
the Whites.
I do like the non-whites, but
No, I wait. I'm so sorry. I did not mean to make it about this, but I was like on Psy until this episode where she was like, "Oh God, you guys like going to the dollar store? You guys clearly didn't grow up poor." And then that like opened up her
I
narrative,
liked-
and I was like,
I
"That's
like Psy.
I like her now."
I like, here's my thing. I like them all. I like Uba. I think we're about to see her open up in a way, like the coming attractions for next week, the preview for next week. Like, I'm at the drive-in, the coming attractions.
Yes.
What's going to happen with Uba on the big screen? Like, so next week, Uba looks like she cries and breaks down.
We love
And I'm
that.
like, when are we going to see the core of Uba? Guess what?
What?
I ordered Uba Hot.
Oh, yeah.
What's Uba Hot?
Oh, Bowen. Uba owns a hot sauce business
Oh, I love.
called Uba Hot.
I'm getting
And
some.
so, okay, here's what I'll do. When it comes to me, I will
Tasting.
bring it and we'll do a live tasting.
Oh, smart.
That's good. Maybe that should be on our additional episodes.
Yes.
Uba Hot Taste.
Uba Hot
Uba
taste.
Hot taste.
Oh my
testing.
God. So she's got like an acclaimed hot sauce line. It comes in 3 flavors.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah, I'm forgetting exactly what they are, but like they're here. I'm actually gonna Google it because because I'm actually of hot sauce culture.
You are a hot sauce culture.
I love to watch the show Hot Ones. Okay, so there's habanero hot, Fresno mild, and Serrano medium, which kind of is just 3 different temperatures.
Okay.
But I like that.
It's an African gem. Uba Hot is a hot sauce that can be used to make any meal delicious. It adds flavor and brings a sensational taste of Africa to your palate. Our dream is for you to enjoy Uba Hot with all your senses. Love and spicy sauce.
all my
What do you think
senses.
you're going to try it with?
And so about Uba, it says, I have a passion for good food and beautiful things.
That's her about?
At a very young age, my mother taught me that life should be experienced with all our senses. We're sort of getting a theme here. So this sort of is hot sauce, but in 5 dimensions.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? How many dimensions are there?
It depends on
Depends on
the
the
max
theory.
the max is 10.
10?
Yeah. That's
Talk about that.
The max number of dimensions. Well, you can look it up. I'm not the best person to explain it.
You're not an expert.
Like, so one dimension is like whatever.
What do we call this? Quantum physics?
Yeah, it gets into string theory, but I'm not an expert on this at all. But I all I know is that I love 5-dimensional stuff because it's like I think that's when like time travel starts to happen.
You learned this from Oppenheimer.
From Oppenheimer, I did. When I walked out, I learned.
I walked out instead of
watching Flo's nips go up.
Each of our
Up in the
products
bath.
has an extraordinary mouth-watering flavor and is named after a precious gemstone, ruby, strength, inspired by my 2 fellow Virgo nieces whose love has given me strength.
2 Virgo nieces. Oh,
Then there's
a
yellow
handful.
tanzanite, rare and special, inspired by my beloved mother, my roots, the one who taught me to see the good in everyone. And finally, emerald, honorable, inspired by my favorite quote by Marcus Aurelius. Whatever anyone does or says, I must be emerald and keep my color. I know you will love Uba Hot as much as I do, as it was created to make moments in life bold, delicious, and spicy. Love and hot sauce, Uba.
love it.
I like Uba too.
I like Uba.
I like Uba even more now.
Yeah, now that she's like a hot sauce connoisseur, who knew?
New.
Got to get her on Hot Ones.
I think that what we need is Uba on Hot Ones, but I think if we're going to get a real housewife on Hot Ones, unfortunately, it is going to be Bethany.
Yeah.
She's the most famous. Did you see Bethany's insane Insta story eating crawfish and shellfish?
Oh, I'm fascinated.
It was really wild.
It's interesting to see someone like her film themselves. I think From Housewives get used to being filmed all the time and now can't stop filming herself or
Yeah.
something because it's like, I feel like it's constantly being an opinion about whatever she's got, but it's near constant filming of herself.
Bethany is interesting to me because I've had this thought, and tell me this if this is like a stupid, unsophisticated thought. Not that it matters, but like on TikTok, the aesthetic is always for me as I'm watching her. I'm like, she has lost her mind. And then she'll go on like the Today Show and talk to Hoda and Jenna, and I'm like, she's the most composed. She's the Queen of England. She's the most composed woman. She knows exactly what her. Like she knows how to talk to these women.
I wonder
It's
if
chaos.
TikTok, she just thinks that works for her, you know? Did you see when she made that salad and it was all celery?
Yes. Well, and I've seen her like eat tuna raw out of the can, raining tuna.
Cool down, because I like that.
And it was sick and nasty.
I'm saying I've done that, but to see her do that and
film
rate
it
the tuna
on TikTok.
is
You're right.
shocking.
I haven't
you know
yet
what I mean?
filmed myself eating raw tuna
No,
out
but
of
that's
a
what I'm
can
saying.
and put it on the
basically made a salad that was diced cherry tomatoes, chopped celery, and like mayo with lemon.
Yeah, tuna
And
salad.
But they call it tuna salad.
That's why they call it tuna salad.
Salad.
And I'm watching her eat this, and I'm thinking, No, there's been a break.
Something's
Yeah, well, the joke's
happened.
on us and the dollars in her bank account because here we are talking about her, making her money.
Congrats.
She's by the way, I guess she is also iHeart Podcast.
She's an iHeart podcast.
And we love her.
I love that.
Go watch, listen to the show. It's really
Oh,
good.
and iHeart encourages intra-show antagonizing. Like
They do?
They want us to fight amongst each other.
Oh yeah, big time. It's
Well, I
like
think
Super
They
Smash
don't.
Brothers.
It's Super Smash. if Nintendo, if you make a Super Smash iHeartRadio edition,
Oh,
And
yeah.
we'd be
Oh
like
my
the ice
God.
climbers.
we'd be like the
Oh
Ice
my
Climbers.
God.
Because I don't want to fight you.
But you and I fighting, Nikki Glazer. I love that.
I would pay to see it.
We love you, Nikki. We would never fight you. Only in a video game.
Only in a video game where you
Okay,
can
should
actually
we do
get
some
hurt.
cards?
Yes.
Let's do some
Wow, oh my God, the host of the show over here.
The
All right.
host.
Sorry.
All right.
Damn.
I'm
Okay.
sorry, my
So how
boss.
does this
Las
work?
Culturistas with House.
How does this work? How does this work?
Okay, so I got these cards when I was 7 years old. My aunt was a Reiki healer and energy healer, and she
Love.
gave me to these when I was young so that I would always have my
I was gonna say,
energy
that's
on
why they're
them.
falling apart.
They're falling apart. So basically, these don't tell you your future. They actually just read your present energy. So it's not going to be able to tell you what will I do and da-da-da. It's about answering questions now to lead you to answers about your own life.
Okay.
So,
I love it.
a question you could ask, I'll give you some examples so that you can think about this. Also, if you want, you can privately think the question, but it might
I don't
be...
think that would be good for the podcast.
No.
Okay, yeah. So...
Can we tell the cards? I listened to All Too Well 10-minute version 2 times this morning. That's where I'm at.
Okay. So basically, like, what do I need to move through this emotional imbalance I'm having? Could be a question. Or what should I focus on in life to be happier? Or et cetera, et cetera.
Okay, I have it.
So it ask me the question and I'll help you re-navigate the question, retool it for the cards. You're going to shuffle them, lay them out, pick 3, and then we'll go over them together.
Okay, Bowen, you want to go first?
You go first.
Okay.
You we already have a
So
sense
here
of
I
your
have the
state.
cards, and am I shuffling them?
You're shuffling them.
Okay. So I'm shuffling, and should I sort of ask my question
You
out
should
loud?
ask your question out loud.
Okay. To the cards and the astral guides and house, I want to know, how do I release fixations and negative thoughts that aren't serving me anymore? I want to move forward in a genuine, real way without fixation on the past and ways in which I've been treated unfairly, and move forward with compassion for myself instead of what is happening.
Okay. So keep thinking, and when you're ready, lay the cards out, and then you'll pick 3.
All right.
We'll think of the answer. For
You've
that
had these since
too.
you were 7?
Mm-hmm.
That's really beautiful.
I'm ready. And now
Okay.
I'm going to lay them out, and I'm going to
Yeah.
go like this. So
Yep.
I'm what I'm doing, readers, is I'm spreading the cards out like this. And now I'm to pick 3 that are calling out to me.
Yep. Take your time, Tasia.
Okay.
Take your time, Tasia.
By the way, we saw the trailer for Color Purple, the movie musical, in during the Barbie movie yesterday. That looks good. Okay. I pick.
That's okay.
This one's calling out to me because it almost fell off the table. So
Okay.
there's one.
Okay.
This one's making itself known to me. And I'm going to say the final card that I would like to pick out is, and I'm going to sort of go left with myself here. It's this one because it was on top. Okay. Those are my 3 cards.
Okay. So these cards are basically your guides. So they're we'll go over the theme of each card, and then we'll try and find a little narrative for you
Okay.
between the 3.
Got it.
It's a little storytelling. Pleasure.
Mm-hmm.
Can we show it to the camera?
Yeah.
Okay. Pleasure. Divine Goddess.
Mm-hmm. Fulfillment, abundance, satisfaction, contentment. The divine goddess smiles upon you, urging you to step into her luscious and beautiful garden and drink from her well of vitality and joy.
Summer.
Relax, have fun, and allow the good times to roll. Life is to be enjoyed, not endured. Whether it's a fun day at the beach or a rousing sexual romp with your lover, the divine goddess reminds you that there's nothing holy, superior, or righteous in resisting pleasure or hiding your beauty. She stepped into your life to remedy the sad fact that you're not taking joy in much of anything of late and have lost touch with some of your inner beauty. Life has become black and white in shades of gray. and you're missing color. She advises you not to postpone your rewards until you're in heaven. Instead, she encourages you to enjoy a little heaven on earth. Indulge your soul in some delicious food, good friends, great music, and playful fun. Use her sparkle to inspire you to embellish your environment, redecorate, whatever will make you happy. This is a harvest for you. It's a time of abundance and flow. It's time for you to share your beauty with others and be generous. Don't fret about overindulging or getting carried away. Get used to the beautiful life and consider it your birthright to dance in the divine goddess's garden. Her question to you is, how good can you stand it?
I think I need to order a glass dildo.
How do we get there?
Let's finish the cards before we get there.
Oh, okay.
Let's get the narrative, honey.
Compromise.
Master
Well, we'll see.
teacher.
Master teacher.
Oh my God.
Okay.
Okay.
So I have so far pleasure and master teacher compromise.
Your master teacher is reminding you that nothing is entirely good or bad, even people, and that every person has their own version of reality, which may not necessarily agree with yours. Instead of feeling wronged by those who refuse to submit to your point of view, give up your righteous and rigid demands and broaden your perspective to include the interests of those you struggle with now. Mentally move toward the center and open your mind. Although it's easy to feel indignant and defensive as you've dealt with the current impasse, the truth is no one is trying to harm you right now. Instead, your detractors are simply supporting their own interest and priorities, which are different than yours.
Totally.
Rather than reacting emotionally to their resistance, strive to understand and work to be fair. Your master teacher's message for you: accept that your interests are no more or no less important than those of the people around you. The only way for you to progress to higher ground is to compromise.
Okay.
Interesting.
That is interesting.
Celebration.
Celebration.
Joy guides.
Which, by the way, these are really positive
Yeah,
cards.
it seems positive.
There's death in there.
Yeah, I don't want that.
There's, suffering. Like, you got an incredibly positive reading. So
No, the cards are giving hot girl summer.
And you are having, for the most part, I would say, a joyful time, even though there are moments of, hardship.
Yeah, I'm just,
Sorry, I don't mean
No,
to.
it's okay.
final card.
Okay.
You're entering a period of great expansion. Your joy guides are at hand, ushering you into a season of abundance, celebration, and hospitality. You're loved and accepted and trusted by those around you. This is a time when life gives back. You may become engaged, get married, get a promotion, land a deal, or just get a long-awaited lucky break. Whatever you desire, your joy guides are urging you to prepare for, because it's coming. Realize that as life's tides turn your way, the soon-to-become realized positive flow of events isn't just a fluke or an accident or the luck of the draw. Rather, it's the natural outcome of your unwavering efforts, your commitment to your dreams and goals. Joy Guide's message: plan for the party. You're going to soon have a reason to celebrate.
Oh my God, I love my reading.
I know. Yes, this all feels very right to me.
So
How good can you stand it? How good can you stand it?
How good can you stand it?
Whoa, that's like really good.
It's
That's
really-
a roller culture number 8.
How good can you stand it?
So I think it's pretty clear, the reading. I don't know if it doesn't seem like anyone's confused here. I would say that for you, the one thing seems like it's asking, the compromise, is probably going to be the hardest part. But it seems like if you can reach that within yourself, you're in such a period of joy.
Yeah.
That is the blockage for you. And it feels like when you finally can make that peace, you're already in this really brilliant new era.
It's a compromise of within the self and not
Yeah, because
outside.
only I can make the decision
Oh,
to like.
but this is all you.
Yeah, it is.
This is a battle between you and yourself.
You're right. There's nothing in those cards that's like,
These
and
cards,
no one's holding you back except
these
yourself.
cards aren't about anybody else.
Yeah, you're right.
And all they do is read your energy. So if it's only telling you what you already know, and what you know is that this is hard for you right now.
Yeah.
But
pleasure. Divine Goddess. I mean, it was it was talking about you eat good food, be with friends, dance a little. We did all that
Yes.
on
and we've been
Saturday.
doing that.
We've been doing
and also, I'm about to have a very fun August and time, and this is great.
Good reading.
Wow, good reading.
Good reading.
Good reading. And now it'll be Bowen Yang's turn.
Oh, I don't know. I feel like this might be tonally different.
No, it's going to be very
I might get some
positive.
of the darker ones.
No,
And that's okay.
no.
That's okay.
And you know what?
I don't want to see death.
But
Well, we
if
might.
you do get death, death is about the ending of something.
Yes.
And that's a positive too in many ways. For many people, the end is the best way to start something new.
Yes, absolutely.
You have to end to begin.
That's so true. That's a rule of culture. That's actually a rule.
He was
So
so shook
profound.
by me.
It's rule of culture number 75.
You have to end
Now,
to begin.
did you do your question?
Oh, I'm so sorry. I'll do the question and then I'll
Do the question and shuffle for a bit. Put your energy on the cards.
My question is, what are the means by which I can connect to all the parts of myself? I feel like my struggle lately has been sort of a disparate evaluation of like me.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel very fragmented. And how do I make it all whole again?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And how do I do that?
Yeah,
Okay,
that's a great question.
great. Oh, my spread.
Oh,
Girl.
that's
Oh,
good.
that's okay.
It's what it's
Okay.
meant to be.
It's what it's meant to be. Okay.
It's meant to be cluttered.
Okay. What's calling out to me?
Only you can answer. Yes. I was going to say her.
That's correct.
That's the one good card. That's all.
This one.
That one too, baby. Pick it out. Put it on the table.
Last one. Here we go.
Number 3.
Don't mess
of
this
3.
up. Don't
big
mess
decision.
this up.
This is the big decision. Oh,
This one.
he's chosen.
I was
There are 3
hoping-
cards on the table.
3 cards laid before me. First one, discontent.
Let me see. Discontent. Muses.
Muses.
The muses.
My muses are a little,
You know, every reading has their own list.
This is a dark card. There are ghosts and phantoms, and I don't like that.
Some snakes. I
Okay,
think.
but I
Snakes.
actually think this card has a lot to teach.
Okay.
Okay. So, are we listening?
We're ready.
Yeah.
Okay. Sooner or later in our evolutionary process, each of us begins to realize that it's not the having that fulfills our souls, but it's the act of creating that brings us satisfaction. Contentment in what we've created, no matter how grand, inevitably subsides, and our creative juices get stagnant and long to flow. That's why the once ideal partner ceases to mesmerize, the perfect job eventually becomes mundane, and the great adventure becomes tedious. Although there's a lot to be said for enjoying what we have now, we must nevertheless respect the fact that our basic nature as creative beings is to create. Without the process, we can't be fully content, at least not for long. Your muses are present, and they're calling on you now to embrace your creative discontent and undertake new projects. Their message to you is see your frustration as a longing to learn more, expand more, dare more, and create more.
I gotta get a glass dildo. I gotta get a glass dildo.
Mama.
You made
Okay.
a joke because you know it's true.
No, it's so true. Oh my god, I can't
and that's
believe
why
how
you
true
made the
it
joke
is.
that you made.
No.
Okay, second card. Deceit.
Deceit.
Just see, this is actually gorgeous. I love
Deceit. This says
Deceit.
guardian angels. You're okay. I know this card has a lot to teach.
Okay,
This is a teaching
I think this is a
card.
teaching card
This
as
is
well.
this is actually one of my favorite cards.
I'm at a teaching hospital.
Discontent and deceit.
It's too funny. Well, you know when you're doing 2 readings and one person gets one that's I was
I
like,
knew I was gonna get the dark one. I love it. Let's keep going.
Okay. Your guardian angels are present, alerting you to the fact that all isn't as it appears. Pay close attention to what's going on around you and within you. You'll notice that vibes are in the air.
You'll notice that vibes are in the air.
Now you'll notice.
Your guardian angels remind you that your own treachery and deceit are subtle and difficult to see. After all, no one wants to believe they can or someone might hurt them. Sometimes it's a deliberate attempt. Other times it's an act of self-protection at your own expense. Deceit and manipulation need not be maliciously intended to occur or be damaging. Often, it's just the result of thoughtlessness or fear. Your guardian angels urge you to trust your vibes completely when it comes to your suspicions of yourself and others. Please equally scrutinize your own deceptions. Either case leads to dead ends and disappointing outcomes. Ask your angel guides to protect you from your own deceits. Have the courage and integrity to be honest with yourself. Your guardian angel's message right now is, we will watch over you.
Now, are they my muses too?
Your guardian angels?
My guardian angels.
No, you
they're
got
different.
muses and guardian
Your
angels.
muses are saying create, create, create.
Well, then my guardian angels are saying don't trust the muses.
No, no, that's not what they're saying. I don't think.
We'll get to the narrative.
We'll get to the narrative.
You're right. We haven't even gotten to the
end.
end yet. How can you make a narrative?
Balance.
Wow.
Period. And now all of a sudden it makes sense.
Period.
And now what's this say? What's on the bottom?
Divine teachers.
Divine teachers.
We both have teachers in ours.
You are good students, I find.
Not me, not as good as Bowen.
No, but still.
I got very distracted.
You're bad, but I was trying to be nice.
I was a good test
You're
taker.
in the delicate process of learning how to properly balance the flow of give and take in your personal relationships. And it's time to evaluate. Are you giving too much, leaving you resentful and angry? Or are you withholding when you could give more, leaving you feeling guilty and defensive? Your divine teachers can help you learn how to better align your relationships so that you neither give nor take too much as a means of controlling others. They counsel you to be honest about your motivations when dealing with others. You know in your heart of hearts what drives you. Do you create dependency in and control, or do you withhold for fear that you might be taken advantage of, keeping people guessing? Your divine teachers are on hand to help you answer these questions. They lovingly assure you that relationships are the most difficult of all spiritual classrooms, and the lessons of proper give and take are the most difficult skills to learn. Have compassion for yourself as you seek balance. Ask your divine teachers to help you become more aware of how you give and receive in all relationships, not just the romantic kind. Their message to you, there's no difference between giving and receiving love.
Great. I love it. I think I am creating my own suspicion in the deceit by an imbalance of give and take. And that is all fueled by a discontent with
In your creative life.
present situation in creative life and stagnant endeavors.
What do you see here?
What do you see? Sorry,
I want to know.
Well, I do think it's interesting. I find that when I do these, there is always this, and you can create it yourself, so whatever, but there is always a little narrative between first, second, and third. And, you do choose as it is. But I do think that, like, for me, the first one is, it's saying this is a core issue that is going on, that is causing this fragmentation.
Yeah.
It seems like that is what the answer is for that. And then it's almost giving you these sort of backup reasons of why that's happening. And it's this deceit is, I find it's always self-deceit when these cards are being used. And it's always almost usually when people get the card, they know immediately what it is that they're saying to themselves or whatever self-deceit they have. And then to get the balance of relationships and stuff is sort of interesting, because then that relates to the deceit too. It's sort of saying, like, these relationships, I'm having I'm not seeing myself clearly in these, and it's all a larger sign of creativity.
You have to listen to yourself. You have to trust yourself.
You have to trust your insights.
Thank you.
No, but I thought that was really good reading.
Well,
Do you feel like you got any clarity? You
a
don't
little
have
bit.
to.
A little bit. Yeah. Yes. But I think I'm like working myself out of I'm getting to the last one, which is the balance. I'm inching closer towards this
Yes.
to get out of
This. Yes.
Which, no problem. I love it.
Well, and this is kind of more closer to the present, I would say, is the third card, whereas this is past order.
What was your third card?
Celebration.
Celebration.
Yes.
We'll be celebrating.
We'll be celebrating and balancing.
And we are celebrating.
And we are celebrating.
I mean, I feel as though I feel very hopeful about the future. I think that like it's the halfway, well, it's not the halfway point of the year, but sometimes it feels like at least end of summer, although like sort of my summer is just starting and then through fall and the winter is always when I feel like things are the most difficult and then they get so much better. For some reason, like narratively, like my years always get better at the end of them. Maybe it's because I have like a routine thing that I do every year. But it's hard now when there's like so much less routine than there's ever been because we're all not working and stuff. But maybe this like time of having like more solitariness and more, like less filling up is an opportunity to achieve this balance card. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Who does know?
Who does know?
Who does know? I'm telling you.
Who can
But
say?
I do think that I always think of September as a new beginning just because school starts. And for so long you were kind of like in that mode. And so I always think of like, I like the back half of the year. Like I like later summer into fall into winter. Like that to me is like when I start, that's where I rev my engine, really.
Right.
You love to, you know what I said out loud the other day for the first time and I felt very like almost like, actually, you know what? I'm going to do I don't think so, honey.
This is amazing segue. I don't think so, honey. This is
really good.
our segment where we take 1 minute to go off on something in culture that's really grinding our gears. Matt Rogers is struck by some
I'm really
inspiration.
excited to do this.
I
believe
this.
it.
This is Matt Rogers. I don't think so, honey. His time starts now.
I don't think so, honey, summer.
Oh.
And it's fine to say it.
Okay.
It's too fucking hot. I don't want to be out in the sun that's that baking hot, especially not during global boiling, which we're in. It's not global warming anymore, honey. It's global boiling. The whales are beaching themselves. They can't take it. I saw a clip today. An otter was trying to steal a surfboard. The girls are going crazy in the water. Why? Because it's heating up. And I'll tell you what else is heating up. Me, too much. I want to be inside in the air conditioning. I don't think so, honey. If you don't have air conditioning in the year of our Lord 2023. I went out on a date with a guy. He said, I don't have air conditioning. I said, that might be a deal breaker right there. Because you want to know why? I don't think so, honey. Summer. And one of the things you need, and they're actually saying it's no longer a luxury, it's a necessity.
15 seconds.
It's air conditioning. So I don't think so, honey, summer. I do think so, honey, the fall. I do think so, honey, the winter. Catch me then. And I do think so, honey, the spring.
5 seconds.
Otherwise, I'm uncomfortable. The humidity, the dryness, both of you. I don't think so, honey.
That's 1 minute.
I don't like summer.
But you do.
No, I don't.
Okay, all right.
I don't.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I
You know
enjoy
what?
friendships,
I think-
dancing, and more.
I think
And
you're being a
more.
little deceitful to
Deceitful?
yourself.
And I don't think so, honey,
Trust my
summer.
vibe. The vibes are in the air.
The vibes are in the air.
When your card said that there were vibes in the air, I really felt that.
And it's not a lie. Vibes are in the air always.
You know what I like to do with my girls during the summer?
Vibe.
Happy hour.
Love.
I will say right now, and the day we're recording this week is spectacular weather in New York City.
Yeah.
We're going out for happy hour after this.
Of course.
Let's go.
Of course.
Of course.
Yes, of course.
Bring it
Oh my
back.
God, you know the birth of Yex of Corks was the very first day that we met House.
Wow.
Oh
It was
my
the LA I Don't Think So,
God.
Honey, when you iconically did your I Don't Think So, Honey on Jennifer Garner.
Gays who stand Jennifer Garner.
Yeah, it was gays who's, I don't think so many gays who's there Jennifer Garner.
And
Yes,
I
of
think
course.
my favorite bit was that, is your favorite dessert meringue?
Oh yeah, that was good, House.
Thank you.
Although she's making a comeback. You be careful.
That was years ago. That was years ago. I wouldn't do that now.
All right.
This is Bowen Yang's I Don't Think So, Honey. His time starts now.
I don't think so, honey. The art world. I'm just trying to get a couple paintings for my new apartment. And why is it the most expensive thing ever created? Why is it so expensive? I believe in compensating artists. I believe in paying for a piece of art. I will pay an inappropriate amount of money. But some of these price points are actually psycho. And I'm not paying $50,000 for a little jade horse.
30 seconds, I hope
Mama,
not.
jade is one of those things that my sister, and I have said this all the time, my sister especially, she goes, jade is one of those gemstones that really only Asian people care about. And so therefore, you have to price it in a way that's not like so exclusive. Like make it so, because the
15
market's already
seconds.
small. It's already going to be something where like, I don't want to pay that much money for it. These prices would make you guys know me. You guys know that I kind of dish out cash for
5
things
seconds.
in an unreasonable way.
Okay.
I pay. Some of these paintings I go, not in a million years.
And that's 1 minute. You know, jade. Didn't Gwyneth Paltrow say you got to put a jade egg up your vagina?
Mm-hmm.
I think, did she ruin it? Did she ruin jade for Asians?
I think she did because what she was doing was she was trying to stimulate the, I think the vagina, the tissue to help re-lubricate.
Right.
Well, I'm sure that was expensive.
Well, then the jade. Well,
gotta
then
be.
this is the thing. Like, I'm never like jade is ours. You know what I mean? And now I can't even get jade off the fucking streets.
So what is this? You're like looking to populate your new apartment?
I just have some walls that I want to like. I have some big walls. Let's just say.
I heard that about you.
I just want.
I heard Bowen Yang's got big walls.
I got big walls. I just
Sugar
want
walls.
Sugar walls,
honey. Tastes like cream.
Ooh.
Tastes like cream.
I heard this.
I hope so.
I hope your walls are so big.
Do you guys ever like there's Pure for Men makes like a nice cream for your walls.
Really?
Yeah. And I have gotten compliments.
I did.
I've had the coffee.
Not the coffee.
Sugar.
I've used the butt balm.
Okay.
I do. Yes, it's like the stay. It's called the Stay Ready cream. This is not sponsored, by the way, but it's the Stay Ready cream.
But it
yeah.
really could be.
I've done the Stay Ready cream.
And people are like, that's nice.
Yeah, that is nice.
I liked the butt balm a lot.
Yeah.
I love it.
All of Pure for Men's products, I really
Pure for Men is really, really doing it.
I think that they found a market, they found a niche and an audience with money, and they made a good product. It's very smart.
They really thought about it. They were like, of course these people want things to like make that area fresh.
Yeah.
Because we get self-conscious about all of it. So like let's make it like let's
Help
make
a
you
girl
feel
out.
help a girl out.
Yeah, totally.
Totally.
And that's like the art world. The art world could really take a page from Pure for Men.
The art world.
I was gonna say.
And I just want to say so many wonderful people have reached out and said, I'm a dealer, I can help you out. I appreciate you. But I just want to say that the system itself seems a little broken.
They're wheelers and dealers.
They're wheelers and dealers.
Well, they made that film
Deceit.
About it.
Oh yeah, was that the one with Jake Gyllenhaal?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're all killers.
They're killers. And
that scares me.
I have to trust the deceit. The vibes are in the air.
Wow.
That was about the art world.
That was about. Well, you never told. If you would have told me about the art world before the reading,
You should have
Bowen,
asked the cards.
I should have asked the
You should have
cards.
been
Oh my
more
God.
specific about it.
They're yelling. The cards are yelling at you to not get finagled by the art world,
Honey, these people on First Dibs are selling David Hockney prints, posters of things for like thousands of dollars. I go, not in a million
Not
years.
a poster.
Not a poster.
If I knew who David Hockney was, I would be appalled. Right
Oh,
now.
you
Famous
would be,
gay. You would love him.
You would love him.
You would love him.
We'll Wikipedia after this.
Yeah. Anyway.
Call me David.
Call me David.
It's giving Stan Smith being like, Howard Hashman sounds cute.
We have to say real quick. We have to say this real quick. We went to see Here Lies Love.
Oh my God. I can't believe we didn't talk about Here
and
Lies
it
Love.
was
great.
It was amazing. We had such a great time. But Matt didn't know.
Didn't know who the Marcoses.
Didn't know.
And
the
so he was like
story.
cheering when they won
I
the
didn't
election.
know who Imelda Marcos was. I actually thought she was a pop star.
So the Marcoses win the election, and then Matt's like, "Woo!" And then I give him a look like, "No."
I found out she was a dictator.
and it really bummed him out.
I know, but she's got nice clothes, so it's tough. It's so hard when these women have nice clothes.
It's hard. You want to support women even when they're dictators. I find as a gay man, I want to support women.
Evita.
Was a big fan until I heard out. She wasn't a
Maleficent.
singer. Maleficent.
Big
Ursula.
Big fan because they look interesting.
They look interesting. They're funny.
They're funny. All right.
This is your I Don't Think So Honey House. Are you ready?
Okay.
All right. This is Patrick Rogers' I Don't Think So Honey. His time starts now.
I don't think so, honey. Going to a restaurant with more than 4 people.
Oh!
First of all, I hate to see the look of a waiter look like, oh God, am I going to have to deal with this all night? 10 of your best gay friends and you all order espresso martinis? Well, guess what, y'all? It's going to take us 45 minutes to get a beverage now.
Period.
It is so annoying. I don't care about Splitwise. I don't care about Venmo. What I care about is I can't hear anything anyone is saying at a restaurant where there's 10 people around the table.
Oh.
You can't get a drink. You can't get your food on time. You can't hear anyone. I'm like, huh? What? I already have hearing problems. Restaurants are supposed to be intimate, dining,
15
food
seconds.
experiences. And when you're with so many people, you do not get that. You're wasting the experience. Even 5 is too many because you're not connecting.
No.
You're not saying, hi, how are you?
5
How was
seconds.
your week? And so that's why if you see me at the restaurant, it will be 4 or less. Trust that.
Trust that. Whatever
think
happened
so.
to hi? How are you?
Whatever happened? Hi, how are you?
Trust
Customer
that.
service.
Customer service.
Whatever happened to customer service? Here's what I'd say. I've been to dinner with more than 4 people. I've been to dinner with less. I always enjoy it with less. I agree. I hadn't thought about this. And also that moment when the waiter comes over, he sees a bunch of gays, and you understand homophobia.
Yeah.
And it's not even like they know the gays tip well and stuff like that. It's like, can I do a dirty martini? Can I do it on the rocks? Can I get 3 olives with blue cheese? But that's 13 people
13
now.
people.
And so then he has to get all those drinks out at the same time. They have 2 bartenders behind there. So then the 2 bartenders have to make 13 drinks come out at once for your table when there's 40 other tables. It is pure mathematical nightmare.
I do the same thing that you're doing right now, which is I also have been restaurant industry in my past, and I get stressed out when I know something is annoying. Like, for example, splitting checks. I always know it's annoying. I always know it's annoying when someone orders like that thing. You know what I mean? Like, I always know it's annoying when people are like, just bring it out whenever it's ready to come out. That's like literally not how it works.
Right.
So I understand.
And it's manageable with 4 or less. You will have a great experience.
Yeah.
So true.
I think dining, I love it with 2. I find I connect really. I love to have a sensuous meal with someone and enjoy the conversation. And
100%.
that could be 3 people and that could be 4. But it should be an intimate experience.
Yes.
Agreed.
Yes.
You know, it's a great date night. It's a great connecting with close friends. It should not be your birthday of 20.
No.
Sorry.
Because guess what? All 20 people are going to have a complicated order because we're all the same.
Yes. You're
Go to
all the
karaoke
same.
instead.
Go see Oppenheimer.
Go see Oppenheimer.
No. And that's where we end the podcast because I'm not having that. The energy suddenly became, we've been here for 2 hours, and that's how you know that true friends have been talking.
True friends have been talking. and
We
squawking.
had our guides tell us what was up. We spoke about Nicole's AMC. We sent a clear message about that. We talked about the eras. We talked about Renaissance. We prognosticated. We pointed Lord in a new direction. True North.
True North.
Like Uba Hot. We basically previewed Uba Hot taste test.
Yes.
We introduced readers to House, which was a long time
huge
coming.
moment.
And we connected with each other like no one could at a dinner with more than the people in this room.
Period. And that includes Donnie. That includes Bahid.
Yeah, and Donnie's looking at his watch in a way that makes me feel like we are
Donnie's
way
gotta
over
go.
time.
The
That
camera's about to go.
and so are we. House, thank you for making your Las
Oh
Culturistas
my
debut.
gosh. Thanks for having me, ladies.
Ladies, we
Love
love you.
you. We love
Ladies,
ya.
hey, and ladies at home, we love you.
We love
end
you.
every episode with a song. This is for the best. My reputation's never been worse, so he must like me for me. If you want to hear more of that, go to the Eras Tour this weekend and next week in Los Angeles. 6 shows at SoFi. Bye.
Bye.